Boy, man, yeah, it's hard to find a great conversation. The only people who whine more than women are men. That's what I would have to say. No, I'm not kidding. I mean, I used to say that there would be, no, that's such an evil laugh.
All right.
Yeah. So I have a question for you.
Oh, we're just going to start?
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, then we can whatever. You know,
Well,
you don't
I
need
should
to.
say that my master plan of everything I've done in my life was really just to drag you into doing a podcast with me. So because finally we had a couple clips do well, now I feel like
It's terrifying. Are
now-
you kidding? It's terrifying.
now I feel like I've got a tiny bit more leverage, but I'll still have other chefs and stuff, but
No, but that's the total terror of it. I mean, you go
What
out
terror?
once. No, really, you go out once, you fucking crush it, you kill it, you destroy it, and then it's like you never go back again. Because how can you ever do as good as you did
No.
the first one? Do you know what I'm saying?
I hear you. That's not my insecurity though.
Well, no, but it's
My
certainly
insecurity,
my insecurity.
well, that shouldn't be your insecurity. Allow my insecurity to overwhelm your insecurity. My insecurity is that I'm just a fantastic editor, and putting you in anything like this is just that's the secret sauce. So I'm just
Well, that's ridiculous. 'Cause I wouldn't be here if
of
that
course,
was true.
but your turkey sandwich your turkey meat that needs bread.
Dude, that's one hell of a metaphor there.
Is that
okay?
flattering or
I
what?
won't bother to dissect that one.
Anyway, well, what I think that we've come up with is that we've brought some questions and things.
I brought one question.
One question? You didn't do any homework?
Yes, I did do homework. I mean, this is a question that could last for quite a while in terms
Okay,
of
well,
a subject, because
okay.
it will lead to other things. It will lead to other things, Steve.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I'd be very curious to know what your... Of course, I already know the answer, as usual, with Brenda Cullerton.
Mm-hmm.
This is the question. I think it's very good. What do you consider life's greatest luxury?
Oh shit.
And I am not talking about 3 fucking days at Canyon Ranch. I'm talking about something a little deeper than that. A little, perhaps I could help you.
Okay.
Give you some cues. For me, the greatest luxury has always been being paid to think. And with thinking about to become extinct, I'm going to have to figure out what the new luxury is, because it is truly terrifying. You're the one who introduced me to ChatGPT. No, you are.
Yeah.
As the analyst, as the social worker, whatever the hell it was.
You think that you will all of a sudden no longer be paid to think?
I think you need to be a plumber or an electrician. I'm really not fucking kidding.
Yeah.
Or a subway driver. I remember thinking that years ago, the first time I ever met somebody when I was traveling from New Jersey, who had worked not as a cop but as a fireman. His pension was unbelievable how much money this dude made after. So that's what we need to be doing now. We need to be returning to technical school. You know what I'm saying? Forget Harvard.
Labor.
Yeah, labor. Because so far, there aren't a lot of robots out there, I don't think, that can master the plumbing of a 1940s apartment or whatever. Anyway.
Being paid to think is the greatest luxury.
To me, absolutely.
I don't know. I can't answer this question. What is the greatest luxury? Because I think that it is relationships. I think that it is.
Well, that's a brilliant answer. Excuse me. That's way more brilliant than my answer.
Well, I don't know about that.
Relationships. Absolutely. That I would have to say. That is, especially one that works.
Yeah.
Because that is not, there's nothing given about that. Right? Of course, you're not in one right now.
Yeah, and I don't really know what it is for it to work. But I just feel like when you receive love and you can't attribute it to anything.
You mean when you feel it, or
Yeah,
when
when
someone's giving it to you?
Either way, I can't get into the difference between that right now.
But is that a luxury, or is that just something you can't deal with?
I also can't get into that right now. But I just feel like that's one of the greatest luxuries. I'm trying to think of like what a dumb answer is. Not a dumb answer, but like what is the time in my life where I feel I will say this. I've experienced some fancy things in my life,
Yeah.
but very few
That's-
luxuries. There's really no luxury like something that you've kind of earned.
there you
Like
go.
you don't really feel the sense of satisfaction unless you've earned something. So like if I like that moment where you're going to hate this, but the moment where if you push yourself through the cold plunge and then you're just sitting there and you're kind of like, you're like, I did 5 minutes and that's.
Well, that's life. I mean, half of
Sometimes
life
when I
is
sit
a
at
cold plunge.
half of the life is a cold plunge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true.
We're putting ourselves through fake hard things to prepare for the real hard things.
Well, that I would definitely have to agree with. I think that, I mean,
There's a very cynical perspective on this too, is that New York has all these, like a playground of fake challenging things to make people feel like they actually have completed tasks. But
like what? Give me some examples.
cold plunges, all the
Oh,
the whole
okay.
gym culture.
Yes, no, that's
Barry's
absolutely true.
boot camp.
That's all part of self-care. What you're
I got
talking
one for
about.
you. I think a great luxury is when you're having a good conversation and you are able to, for a second, zoom out and think that there's some alchemy here. Like this is like there's more energy here than was brought into it. Like there is something
That's
being created.
another great. Look at this. I only came up with one. You've already come up with three. No, really.
One of them was cold plunges, though.
All right. Well, but as a metaphor, it was.
Yeah.
It worked. No, I think that. I think friendship. I mean, that relates to relationships, of course. But I think that I have a friend who's a writer who said that and someone asked her, what do you consider the most important structure in your life? What is it that structures your life? And she said it's friendship. That and I thought that was for off the cuff. That was a pretty good,
not bad
response.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that only becomes more and more true the more cold plunges we take. Because no, really, you need somebody there with the towel. Okay, we're going to let this metaphor go.
We're going to let
something else, if you wouldn't mind.
Yep.
Yeah, I think conversation. Also, because it's hard to find a great conversation. No, it is. I mean, I love gossip, and I suppose that's very female. I don't know. It's a gender thing.
Regardless.
But gossip is not exactly a conversation, I mean, it's not the same thing, even though I get...
Here's my thing with gossip is when you're having a gossip-driven conversation, it doesn't feel good like when you're actually exchanging ideas.
Well, when was the last time you sat down and exchanged ideas, if you don't mind me asking?
I feel like we're exchanging ideas right now. Last night with my friend, Professor Paul Friedman at the Lotus Club, we exchanged ideas. We formulated theories on why the restaurant landscape feels different now than it did. And he's
not a restaurateur.
He is a restaurant historian.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. I forgot. And
he studies menus.
He did clubs.
Private clubs. Here's another thing I noticed about conversations. I can tell the best conversations, I'm never steering it in a way where I feel like I have something good. I'm actually flowing. Mm-hmm. Often when I'm in a conversation where I feel any tinge of insecurity,
right,
I'll move it towards the realm of restaurants where I can talk about chefs that I know, or comedy where I'm doing okay, or whatever, something where I have some power. But if the second you start thinking about those things, it's not actually a fun conversation.
Well, no, because you're not listening.
You're not listening.
I mean, that's the point. I mean, there is no conversation if you can't listen.
Yeah.
And, I think
Wait, so what's your perspective on gossip?
Well, I think gossip is something that keeps the world alive since forever. You're the one who studies history. I mean, holy shit. Are you kidding?
Well, that's what that was one of the they say about humans, is that we thrived because of, it wasn't conversation that helped us thrive. It was what conversation did was it allowed us to report on bad actors and to weed out bad actors. Was actually what allowed civilization to thrive.
Oh, well, that's a very heady thought. What'd you come up with that at dinner last night?
From Sapiens, unfortunately.
Oh, I never read it. People rave about it. They say it's great. I mean, that I should definitely go there. But you're right. I think that I'm right. Sorry, I'm right. No, I mean, half of history is gossip.
Gossip has a negative connotation, though. Like, talking about things that happened is not exactly gossip. You know in your heart when you're gossiping. It feels like dark magic.
Well, it is dark gossip. I
But
mean,
certain
it's not
kinds are-
generous. You know what I'm saying? I mean, usually when you're gossiping,
Yeah.
you're not being hugely generous about other people.
Right.
I mean, who would be more bored in a
Right,
conversation than
right.
that?
Oh, you
No,
know, Sally,
you're
her
going-
marriage is fantastic.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, Dolores looked so beautiful last night.
Right.
No, exactly. It has to be something that's very edgy. And certainly, even when I think about history, I mean, I think of Hitler. No, again, I'm going back to one of our original conversations. But, all of the little factlets about him in terms of his obsession about what he ate and the kind of drugs that he took and the fact he never had any sex. Again, this is what brings him alive. I mean, other than the horror, of course, of
Loved
Hitler.
animals.
Yeah, that's right. Loved his dog.
Loved his dog.
So, yeah, gossip. I mean, there are writers who, wrote 14 volumes, Samuel Pepys, that was gossip about the government, about, England. So don't knock it.
I'm not knocking
But
it.
no,
You
but I'm
knocked it.
always hearing from men, that, you don't really like to talk, you like to gossip. Like there's a difference between those two things. Sorry, but, I consider that an insult because, sure, it's gossip, but it's also talking.
It's definitely talking. The question is whether or not it's productive.
Well, I just gave you some examples about Adolf Hitler. Okay, now the man would have never been as alive
what do
to
I
us
do
if
with
you
them
didn't
now?
know. Well, I don't know. Isn't he more alive to you now, knowing about some of these weird-ass idiosyncratic things that
So
drove
let me ask
him?
you. Let me ask you. If you hear real gossip, like you hear some shit about somebody that you know well, something nefarious that happened with them or her or him in their family, some money gossip, some relationship
Right.
gossip, some scandal. Do you leave there? But you don't leave that conversation charged up. You're entertained in the moment, but you don't leave happier than you went in.
Well, I never leave anywhere happier than I came in. Okay, I mean, you're talking to the wrong person.
You were
But
born
it-
here, and you've just been dropping ever since.
Ever since. No, I mean, it doesn't elate me. I don't end up jubilant because it's a juicy piece of gossip.
Right.
But, I mean,
I do
essentially-
sometimes. I'm like,
Oh, well, no, and we all are. I mean, because there's also Schadenfreude in it. There's like, oh, she finally got hers, or he
great
finally
when-
got his.
Right. When someone posts constantly about the quality of their marriage or something,
Oh, well, that's already.
and then you hear something
Questionable.
bad about the marriage, then you can enjoy that a little bit. But I think you're actually doing a thing here, which I've known you to do before, where you discredit yourself. Like, I don't actually think the majority of conversations you have are gossipy. Like, I think you do speak positively about a lot of things, and that I
Right.
would say are not gossip. I think it's kind of a Brenda-ism to just be like, people make fun of me because they say I just like gossip, but
I'm thinking of my husband in particular, who says that most of it is gossip that I indulge in, Daniel. No, of course I talk about other things.
Yeah.
That I'm a voracious reader. 7 books a week or something since forever, starting them all over again now because I don't remember any of them. But no, I love to think. I mean, really, think is what. How could there be so many people out there, so many millions of people who don't think? How is that possible? Because they don't. The mess that we're in now. These are people who don't think.
This is why I think this is why people have to be conscious of how much electronic music they listen to.
Oh my God! How the fuck did we get back there? Electronic noise. What's that got to do with anything?
Because there was all these conspiracy theories about how like Katy Perry music was mind control, and like all conspiracy theories, I think the tiny piece of truth that is in that is that I think hyper-produced electronic music is just it's like brain filler. It fills you with all this stimulus and this kind of like mnemonic, repeating, perfect chord changes, and for that time you don't actually think about you completely turn off.
It wipes your brain
Wipes
out,
your brain.
D.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point of it.
It's no different than like
you
very
don't
like reality
think.
TV, right? You're like
Yeah.
it's perfect. It's like Heinz ketchup. It fills every quadrant of your artistic receptor.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Well, Heinz ketchup because it's it's sweet, sour, savory, salty, whatever.
Food analogy.
Of course, you need one.
No, but I'm curious about how the fuck people are saying Katy Perry was in mind control. She doesn't have a mind.
I'm just saying. I think that when people think that when people like they're like, I love music so much, I love pop music or whatever, and then
Right.
and then they at the end of the day, if they have any level of self-reflection and they think, well, I didn't really contemplate today, I would look at their Spotify listening history and I would just be conscious of the fact that I would look at how much not only TV but how much like sort of dumb music,
Right.
which I love. I love something. So that's why I'm conscious of not listening to poppy stuff because I don't feel like it. There's no arc to it sometimes, right? Like I don't feel
Right.
like it's art in the same way. It's just spoon feedy. It's.
But it moves people. I mean, anything that moves people, anything that creates a mood.
Yeah.
On the part of is a form of art. D.
Sure.
You know? I mean,
Sure.
I think it's.
So you think
meditation is.
But
the
you think
same
Marvel
phenomenon.
movies are art?
Marvel movies.
Marvel movies are art.
Fuck, I've seen 2 Marvel movies. or
But
something?
but they are art.
Well, 1 or 2 of them would have been art.
No.
Not 45 of them.
I know, but
yeah, I mean,
but
they should
I
have
think
quit
that's-
while they were ahead.
But that's the case you're making is that the 45th Marvel movie is still art.
No, it's not, though. It's absolutely not. It's just formula. That's all it is. It's
But
formula.
that's what I would say about the music is that it's just formula.
You mean house music? You mean
I mean, like,
club music? You mean
chart-topping pop music,
Oh.
typically. Who else makes fun of you for gossiping?
Well, no one, because I gossip with them all, so they don't make fun of me because of that. No.
Wait, so you don't feel any insecurity about gossip. What annoys you is when people tell you if you have a long gossipy conversation that's not actually a conversation.
It doesn't even come up as a subject, Daniel. Okay? I mean, 3 hours at a restaurant when everybody is sharing news. Let's put news
Yeah.
on other people. That's a conversation. I mean, yeah, it's just human nature. It's what we do. It's what men do it too. Are you kidding me? Men. I mean, the only people who whine more than women are men. That's what I like to say. No, I'm not kidding. I mean, I used to say that there would be, it's such an evil laugh. I used to say that there would be no female singers if it wasn't for men fucking them over.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. How many songs do you listen to women sing when they're ecstatically happy in a relationship? There's
Right.
no such thing. Men, however, can sing, in fact, about happiness. They're not always whining about women, is what I mean. It's not or brokenhearted.
But that
because of
means
women.
men are still whining less than women.
Oh, men whine constantly. Just over different things. But, I mean, most of the time I would have to say it's probably about, well, you know what it is. I mean, this is not a profound subject. I mean, what do people whine about the most? Their jobs, their relationships, their bodies, money. I mean, it's
Men like to be victims a little bit more, I would say.
Would you?
Yeah.
What a very extraordinary. That's a
Really?
revelation.
Yeah.
Really. That's a revelation. Yes, I would agree that they definitely prefer to be victims. Can't help it. They just can't help it. It's because they're treated so brutally, by women. That's why there are therapists, Daniel. That's why there are therapists in the world, is all I can say. That's another job that probably, along with plumbing and electrician and subway conductor, would be a therapist. Even though, I mean, I know ChatGPT is out there doing it, but it's not like talking to a human. Yes, like a human. That's a good conversation one assumes you have, is with a therapist, right? I mean, that's not gossip. You don't
No.
really go into a shrink and gossip.
No,
It's
and
a
that's
waste of
why
money.
you dread the therapist.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely.
And that's why you have little moments of joy in therapy when you're like, when you realize that you need to share a piece of gossip as context, the occasional time when you're like, okay, I kind of need to explain like how they know each other for this story to make sense.
Right.
And then you're like, strap in,
I love
fucking
it.
story
It's going to
time
be a
now.
bumpy ride. Right.
Yeah.
Right. But everybody loves therapy in the beginning, I think. I do. I mean, I think because everyone is actually very eager to share their story. We're all eager to tell our stories when you think about it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the great things about therapy in the beginning.
And then?
Well, no, because you're telling your own story. It's very shaped.
Right.
That's the problem. That's why you're in the fucking office, is because
But you're doing your memoir.
a lot of the story is
Good.
well, yes, but is off the track, somewhat
Right.
derailed. Because life is never how you see it, except for occasionally. There's everything else that's outside, and that's what the therapist is supposed to help with. I don't know. Are you still seeing a therapist?
Off and on.
Oh, no, that doesn't count. Off and on. That's like being in a relationship with a woman off and on,
So
or
why-
a man off and on.
So why does
That's not a relationship.
why does it become less exciting? Why does it become, can you pull the mic more in?
Yeah.
Why does it become, why does it get worse over time?
Because you have to give more. That's why.
And you actually start analyzing yourself?
It depends on how good the shrink is. But yeah, essentially, you're looking for the things that have fucked you up.
Yeah.
So those aren't happy stories. They don't fit, the Instagram profile of.
But I still think actually it is fun to tell the unhappy stories because you're still performing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. The minute it stops, the minute the performance aspect of it no longer works, that's when you really get down to what it's about. And that's when a lot of people step out. It's not like these shrinks, or if they're any good anyway, don't know that you're performing. Of course they do. Their whole job is to get past it, and that's hard.
Yeah.
Depending on what questions they're asking you, you'd rather be anywhere but sitting in that chair across from them.
2 months of therapy, you're like, I wish there was more time in this hour.
Right.
And then after that, you're looking
right.
at it like 27 more minutes. Oh my God.
So true. Oh my God, that is so me, is all I can say. I'm out the door. I got 1 foot out the door when I walk in.
Yeah.
I already have 1 foot out the door. So, not everyone is like that. Woody Allen, for instance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable when you think a lifetime, 3 times a week
Same guy.
of like, oh, that I don't know. He's probably, a few of them have probably died. But yeah, that's how.
Yeah.
But again, the thing about therapy that ties right into everything else we've been talking about in terms of what makes conversation and the luxury of thinking is the questions they ask. It's all about the questions. And that is what I'm very good at. No, I am, because it's a form of deflection.
You asking them questions.
Well, me just asking everyone questions all the time. It means you don't have to answer any questions. But for a shrink, it shows that they understand something if they're able to make you uncomfortable. And
You
I
have to
think-
be willing to be uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, but you have to be willing to be that. Look at you. You get up on a stage to make an entire
So
room
different.
laugh out loud. Don't tell me there's no discomfort in that. There
fear,
has to
there's
be.
fear of discomfort. There's potential discomfort. But good therapy is no different than like, I think an intense massage where when you find the knot,
Right.
they have to keep saying, why do you think that? Why do you, and
Right.
I've said this to you before, but I think that good therapy, like, you want to close the laptop or
Yes, you
leave
want to
the room.
focus.
No, leave the room and be like, stop fucking asking me why.
Oh, right.
But then if you can just go, all right, why? Why am I so mad at that? Why do I upsetting? Why am I slapping myself in the head when I wake up in the middle of the night?
Yep.
Then you can start to find things. And I actually think, and we've talked about this before, but I actually think that's why therapists it's so challenging, because like that conversation, it's also way less fun, I assume, for them when they're doing good therapy. Like getting the gossip at the beginning is probably the most fun part for them too.
Well, also when you're performing, they don't have to work as hard.
Right, exactly.
They're there as an audience.
In the same way, like surgeons. This is something I always get kind of excited about. I mean, I'm not excited about this because it's freaky, but like the same way that surgeons secretly get excited when they see shit they've never seen before. Like massive tumors that they've got to take out and stuff like that. But they're like, do you see the fucking size of that thing? Like, I got to deal with that. Like, I think, I've told you this before. I mean, that's therapists, I think, on some level, they're like, oh, I fucking got a schizo. You know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think
Not a
that's...
schizo, but like,
Yes.
This guy's had the worst family history of anyone I've ever.
And that's saying a lot, you know, Matt, because no one goes in there without a bad family history.
Yeah.
Or without a damaged...
Right. But they do kind of operate in the middle of a bell curve of fucked up people because they're getting people like us,
right,
who are semi fucked up. But it's rare that they're seeing the really fucked up people, because the really fucked up.
You mean like a psychopath? Is that what you're talking about?
The really fucked up people probably aren't in society enough to be like, oh, I should see a therapist, especially not some therapist with a couch on the Upper East Side.
Well, especially not a social worker. That's for
right.
Sure. But what you were saying about why, how that drives you crazy. You know, I have this 4-year-old grandson, and for 2 years, this is all he says is why. No. And there are literally moments when I'd like to throttle him if I hear the fucking word why one more time. But it's interesting that, in fact, it starts from the minute you're out of the womb.
Yep.
The why question, you know, and I think that, as you just said, you know, that's the sign also.
There's something about the way that we navigate life. We're not inquisitive, and that's why some people actually like smoking weed and stuff, because it makes you start to re-examine things that you don't think about. But like simple questions, a kid asking you why about simple questions, it's annoying, because you're like, they're just things that you don't think about.
But there are no simple questions. You see, that's the killer. He asked me,
well, like how much
on
salt
Passover.
Yeah.
When we were passing by a temple in Brooklyn, and there was a whole lot of police and whatever outside temple, as there are these days. And he said, you know, why are there all these police when God is inside? I mean, what do you say to that?
Yeah.
What the fuck I mean, I was completely floored by the question. It's like, well, that makes perfect sense. It's true. If God is in there, you need a cop outside to protect you? I don't think so. But yeah, just the.
I thought you were going to say why are there? He was going to say why were there police outside of the synagogue, and then you're going to be like, well, there's a whole geopolitics thing that
Yeah, don't laugh. I mean, you know, his father talks to him like that.
Yeah.
Geopolitics or whatever. But
why God should? I mean, that's crazy. And then what did you even say to that?
And then even questions like, you know, who is God? What is God? Why is God there? And, you know, you think, well, it's, you know, he's like Santa Claus, you know. I mean, he gives you things. I mean, that was how bad. That was how desperate I was to come up with an answer to a question, actually, that I don't ever ask myself, you see. I don't. I mean, I accept that he's there, or that he might be there, let's put it that way. But I don't go any farther than that. But a 4-year-old wants to know exactly, you know, what he does, what does he look like. I was exhausted by the time we'd walked 2 blocks, you know. It was just like, could you knock it off with the why? But the same way I used to feel about shrinks, you know, when they just keep hammering at you.
Well, it's stuff like, I mean, you always talk about your great fear of inertia, of being in one place at the same time. I mean, I'm sure if you were like, I need to leave now, why? Because I need to leave now because I need to get the fuck out of here. Why?
Totally.
You know, I could destroy you if you were willing to sit through it.
Yep.
And you might actually, if I did that 100 times, you might actually get somewhere new.
Well, I don't always leave you.
No. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying things that I have the same thing where if I feel trapped in a thing, I have to like sometimes if I'm in with a group of people and I feel like I haven't had any time to myself, even just to like, if I feel pressured to be a certain way, I have to go to the bathroom and like I have to go outside, just be like, oh. But it's like, why? You know, I'm just saying
But I have to leave all the time, as you know. I mean, I go to the movies, I have to sit at a seat that's on the aisle because I'm going to be leaving. There's no question about it. No, exactly. Why?
Why would you go to the movies?
I mean, I feel that all the time. I go out for dinner, you know, with people, and I get to the point, and it's like, well, no, I'm out of here. I'm done. I don't need dessert. I'll, you know, call you later. This is obviously huge abandonment issues. Gotta be. But yeah, it's been there forever.
You leave before they do.
Exactly right.
I also
preempt the leaving.
It's also like, for me, I have a lot of those things, and it's like I need to keep doing things, because if I'm not doing something, then I sit with the whys.
Oh well, that of course. I totally understand that. I think everybody feels the same way about that.
Yeah. Why?
You- no, but I mean, the other irony is that with this desperate need to always be leaving or to be thinking about
Yep.
leaving, I've been married 45 years. I mean, go figure. It's just crazy. How does that happen? I mean, what a contradiction.
45 years of
In
marriage
terms-
is like a 4.5-hour movie that you haven't left.
Like Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah, with
not
an
as,
intermission.
Not as entertaining all the time. All the time.
Yeah. No, okay, I've got another great luxury. Another great luxury of life is I've never done this, but I imagine deciding you're going to take some time off and really just doing it.
Odd. Well, like he was just talking about going away.
He's going on, yeah.
He's practicing doing nothing. Oh my God.
Like to have, even in my, I've talked about this relentlessly about wasting time, because I get a lot of stuff done, but I'm also a fantastic time waster. And I said a dream of mine would just be, my calendar was totally filled, and in my calendar was like a 90-minute block on a Thursday that just said rewatch Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers.
Right.
For no reason.
Right.
And then to actually do that for 90 minutes, and then to get up after that and go back to work. You know what I mean? Like, if I would feel so good about my day if I just...
Now, see, I think the greatest luxury
Yeah.
is having the calendar completely full and at 5 o'clock saying, fuck it, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, being booked and canceling.
Wow.
That's like finding money. It's like finding money on the street or something.
Or when your calendar's full, totally full, and then it's 1:50 and your 2 p.m. that you didn't feel like doing cancels.
Yeah, or people cancel on you too, and it's like, phew. I mean, speaking of which, I have to get going.
No, but I have all these questions for you.
So, well, ask me one more.
But you know what you've signed up for. Now...
I've been here an hour.
No, I know. But I'm saying now what we have to do is we can just start with one question. That's how we'll do the episodes.
Oh, that's a good idea. As the format, you mean?
As the format.
Well, that's a great idea. Because I think you might find that this one, there are things that come back.
I hate to break it to you. There's some gold in this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you always say that.
I was right.
There are some callbacks.
Okay, definitely some
that's a good
callbacks.
thing.
I got a story to tell you next time about the steam room that you're going to like. Okay, I'm going to ask you two quick questions
No,
about...
one question. One question.
And then a longer one. Yeah, great.
No, and not a longer one, D. Go on. Ask
Okay.
the question.
Fuck. Oh, there's so many good ones. This list is huge.
Well, we've been here an hour. Where the fuck was the list?
I was flowing.
Yeah, okay. So good. So you don't need the list.
This is no longer going to be questions. I know I don't need the list, but the questions are fun. All right. I'm going to do two. Compromise? Fine.
Okay.
Why do you hate the term journey so much?
Because, it's whatever. Going to a ayahuasca fucking weekend in upstate New York is not a journey.
Yeah.
It's a short trip in a car with like an hallucinogenic experience.
Yeah.
A journey implies that there's enormous adversity. That you're conquering things you've never, like going to Antarctica, in a beat up fucking ship.
Right.
And getting stuck in the ice floe and eating your friends. I mean, that's my idea of a journey. Or going, traveling to somewhere like they used to, in the 19th century, in the 18th century, when people didn't have fucking GPS.
Right.
Okay? And there were no Airbnbs. And, you weren't going to 5-star hotels. I mean, that's what journeying is.
See,
it's
I actually
all
think...
about... It's all about when it goes wrong. That's what a journey is about. You people, this has nothing to do with everything fucking going wrong. It's always with the happy ending. I took a journey to... No, really. It's true. It's such a it's just the wrong term. You'll have to come up with another, call it an experience or a trip or
I
whatever.
actually think the ayahuasca one is like sort of an acceptable journey. I think that it's horrible that people say journey about anything now. They'll be like, "How
No,
was
they
dinner?
do.
How was dinner?" Oh, it was a journey. Or I mean, even at other ship where I go for the
Right.
sauna and cold plunge,
Others.
they call that a 75-minute journey. What time is your journey today?
Oh, I remember we're talking about that.
Yeah.
That's vile, is all I can say. It's somebody. I mean, the copy was very good. I have to say, the branding was very good, but just completely spurious. I mean, no, just so shallow. That's
Yeah.
all I can say. You know.
So it's just such a cliche.
It's such a cliche, and it's the wrong use of the word. You know, I mean, it's people who just have never taken a journey,
Right.
And this is as far as they're ever going to go.
So it's simply a misuse of the term.
Yeah. I think it was Bruce Chatwin who said that, there's no such thing as a journey if everything doesn't go wrong. And you're a generation that doesn't believe in anything going wrong. And so, yeah, it's not even vaguely related. Question 2.
We've never been on journeys. Would you say this episode was a journey?
This is a journey. Yes, we're in a journey here.
Okay. You'll like this one because it's one that you asked. What do you think of the 4DX shaking seats at the movie theater?
Fuck you. Okay. That's all I can think of. What do I think? It's got nothing to do with thinking anyway. I mean, you heard that. Literally, I almost broke my leg trying to crawl out of that chair in the rain with the frickin' wind blowing. And again, it's like, can't you just watch a movie and let your imagination take you instead of having to be blown out of your seat by a 50-mile-an-hour wind? And then everything was wet. It was like the first time that I went, mist. There was mist everywhere.
Yeah, there's a little water spritz.
And then when the chair, no, that was it. When the chair started to be like a fucking earthquake, I literally had to crawl out of it with my legs, okay, and sit on the floor.
Yeah. It's unimaginable to me that people would think that was a superior movie experience.
It's a journey.
Sitting
It's a journey.
Sitting in that thing.
Okay.
We also, I think we are the only two idiots who have experienced that thing because we go to the movies so desperate to see a certain movie sometime and then forget and then don't really look that closely and we end up in the 4DX seats and we go, fuck, this movie's only playing at this one time, and then we're like, maybe it's not so bad, and we sit down in the thing and it's like
yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. I would like someone to admit that it was a great mistake. I would like, because I'm sure they spent millions of dollars.
Millions.
On
Are you
those
kidding? At
shaking,
Regal on 14th
moving
Street?
seat.
Unbelievable. How much money?
I think that they were a mistake, but they'll never just be like, hey, those stupid seats, they were a mistake.
I mean, I have seen people, I have to say, before I've left the theater, which I've done twice now, where it starts with a big bang, as it were. You know what I'm saying? I see everybody grinning. I see them laughing. And then, you know what I mean? It's a little like this, here it comes. And, I mean, they feel kind of like I do, except, for $22, you're in for the frickin' ride, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have a choice.
It really is.
Oh, my God. I mean, and also just a great movie, I mean, I live at the Quad. I live at Film Farm. The screens suck. The chairs are uncomfortable. They're and it's a fabulous experience, not a journey. It's a fabulous experience. The intimacy of that. That's the other problem with those theaters is that although the Emirates seats, as you know, I could go on for hours about that comfort. I mean, if I could fly, with that experience of the seat at the Essex, I'd have it made, but I never will. But,
I think that this point is that so many people want to make movies about more than just a good story and a good movie experience, and they're building this, like, the Marvel Cinematic Universe carries forward into the theater itself, and it's just
every story
keep
is
that
the
on the
same,
fucking screen. I don't need to shake while I watch the movie.
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
I don't need.
But every story is the same. I mean, come on, that's the thing about Marvel. They just wear a different different costume.
Yeah.
When you get right down to it, there's nothing that challenges the brain, or that, not that movies need to do that all the time. But
Do you think, what's funny about those shaky seats?
what?
Is the movies that they play are always very family friendly. Like, they're always the
Right.
Marvel movies. But, like, what do you think they do? What do the seats do when there's like a sex scene?
Oh, I don't think But good question. Good. Let's end with a good question.
You think there's a
Dee.
little under the seats?
Wow, never thought of it. Okay, what they do in a sex scene.
Maybe those seats will
It's,
all be out of commission because nobody cares about them, and they'll end up in porn theaters. It'll just be,
Porn. What kind of archaic concept is that? Name me one
it's gonna
porn
be Pee
theater
Wee
in New
Herman
York
watching
City.
porn theater, 4DX porn.
Those are 4D. You don't need to do that anymore, as you know. Also,
Why? Because you can just meet a woman and build a fulfilling relationship with her.
a real journey. No, but I also heard that ChatGPT is now introducing. You probably already heard that. Erotica. I heard a story at dinner the other night. It was gossip. Okay.
Okay.
Somebody very, very close to the powers that be at Google, where they have discovered that there are 9th grade boys who are dating ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
They're dating on ChatGPT. That's the end of the world. Oh my God! Although I did love that movie, Her. Do you remember that movie with
Of course.
Scarlett Jo?
Yeah. I saw it.
Charming.
In the shaky
movie.
seats.
In the shaky, that big sex scene there in Her.
Is it better to be alone or to date a robot?
Well, you'd have to find that out for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, the robots.
Well, I was
know
actually
are
going to
getting
make
smarter.
that decision tonight.
Go out with a robot.
Or be alone.
We were talking about it. Take the night off, Dee. Don't do anything. Don't see anybody.
Just-
Order in an amazing dinner. Have a drink. Watch something on the box.
I will.
Binge
All right.
something.
You're free.
That was very fun.
I know.
Yes, it was very fun. Even if there are no gems in it.
There were gems.
I love your company.
Ask Mike on your way out.